The cold night air stung Max's lungs as he darted through the shadowed streets of the city, his small feet pounding against the wet pavement. Neon signs flickered in the distance, casting jagged beams of color through the narrow alleys, while the towering skyscrapers loomed above, their edges disappearing into the darkness. Behind him, the rhythmic clank of metal feet echoed, a relentless reminder that he couldn't slow down. Max's heart raced faster than his legs could carry him. He risked a glance over his shoulder and saw them, two sleek, silver-bodied cyborgs, their glowing red eyes locked on him, their mechanical limbs moving with terrifying precision. They weren't going to stop. They never did. Ahead, the street split into two narrow alleys. Without thinking, Max veered left, his sneakers skidding across the slick ground. His breath came in ragged gasps, and every muscle in his body screamed for him to stop. But he couldn't. If he did, he was dead. The whir of the cyborg's hydraulics grew louder, closer. Max's mind raced. There had to be a way out, some place to hide, or some corner of this decaying city they couldn't follow. He had always been faster than the other kids in the district, but even he knew there was no outrunning machines. Not for long. A flash of light above, he looked up to see a surveillance drone hovering in the distance. No doubt it had already spotted him. He cursed under his breath. They had planned this. They knew exactly where he was, every turn he'd take. Max's legs burned with exhaustion as he tore through the alley, every breath feeling like fire in his chest. The cyborgs were closing in, their metallic footsteps a terrifying metronome ticking down the seconds he had left. Then, out of the corner of his eye, he spotted something, an old, rusted door nestled between two buildings, half hidden behind a stack of trash. Without thinking, he lunged for it, his hand slipping on the corroded handle. It wouldn't budge. Panic gripped him. The clanking footsteps were so close now, the mechanical hum rising like a scream in his ears. Desperate, he slammed his shoulder into the door. It groaned, then gave way, and he stumbled inside, pulling it shut behind him just as the cyborgs rounded the corner. Max pressed his back against the door, holding it closed as if sheer willpower could keep them out. His heart pounded in his ears, but after a few tense moments the footsteps faded, passing by the alley. He took a shaky breath and turned around, his eyes adjusting to the dim light. It was some sort of abandoned storage room, crammed with old crates and broken equipment. His pulse still racing, he scanned the space, and then his heart skipped a beat.